Okay, so today we're going to talk about our first three notes on the saxophone. Our first note is our G. We can see it's on our second line. Every good, G. Our second note, A. In the second space, spaces we say face, F, A. It's an A. And then the third line is our B, and that's our third note. First note G, second note A, third note B. Okay, so now that we've seen those first three notes, I'm going to put a link to this sheet of paper in the description, but this has all the fingerings for all these notes, so we can see the G has 3 fingers, A has 2 fingers there, and B has 1 finger there. I'll show you on the saxophone in a second. This is very useful just for reference, and as I said, it is downloadable on the link below. Okay, so on the saxophone you can see we've got all these buttons here. Now we've talked about the trick keys, this little key here and this key here. Sometimes it has a pearl for that key as well, so we don't want to touch them. We put our first finger on that top key there, second finger there, and third finger there. So for B, we have our first finger down, and then it builds up from there. So B, A, then G. So G, you can see I've got 3 fingers down. A, you can see I've got 2 fingers down. And then B, finally, I've got 1 finger down. But we want to keep our fingers over the keys like that, making sure we're keeping our pinky down. We're not playing posh saxophone like out there. G as our first note, 3 fingers down. A, 2 fingers down. And B, 1 finger down. And I'll show you how they sound in 1 second. Okay, so we've talked about our first 3 notes and where they are on the music. So we've got our first note here, G, our second note, A, and our third note, B. And we've talked about the fingers that we use to play them, G, A, and B. So now we're going to play them all together. So we're going to hold G for 4 beats, we're going to hold A for 4 beats, then we're going to hold B for 4 beats, making sure we're doing nice tongues in the middle of them and trying to play as nicely as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time, except this time we're going to tongue 4 crotchets on each of the notes. So G, 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 A, like that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Well done.